So thank you very much for choosing St. Luke's Sound on a Wednesday evening. It's a little bit different tonight. This show's a little bit different, and the reason it's a little bit different is because we don't normally do just a 1 hour show, but this one's a special show. In the studio, we have Mick Brown, Slinky Mick. He's going to be singing a song a little bit later for us. And also, most importantly, in the studio, we have Andy Man's Club. Now, we have Andy from Andy Man's Club. He is, Andy, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you.
Fantastic, brilliant. Well, thanks very much for coming in. Just want to say, you guys do an absolutely amazing job before we start. You're a credit, absolutely incredible job. So I'm basically going to just be a bit quiet and just leave it up to you. Can you let us know a little bit about Andy Man's Club, how it all started, and go from there?
Yeah, so basically, you kind of mentioned it on your intro there. 2016, young man from Halifax, Andrew Roberts, unfortunately took his own life. That was the 10-year anniversary on Sunday of that unfortunate thing happening. On the back of that, his family wanted to try and do something. They wanted to try and make a difference, try and stop other guys getting to that point maybe, and and stop other families going through the experience they had. So shortly after, Andy's brother-in-law, our founder Luke Ambler, sorry, I'll get shot for that. He had this idea for a coffee club, basically, just a space where guys could get together, have a bit of a natter. He discussed that idea with Elaine's mum, actually at a family wedding, a couple of months later on, back end of May, I think it was, early June. They went back and forth about that, settled on the name Andy's Man Club, obviously keeping his legacy, if you will, some ways of thinking of it. Settled on this Andy's Man Club. Luke then put a post out on his Facebook at the end of June, just to gather any interest if people, would come along to that sort of thing. And they responded to it. So our first ever meeting was actually the 4th of July. Other countries use that as Independence Day, but, our founding day. And that will be our 10th anniversary this year.
Right.
So it's basically kept those principles from the start. It is just a safe space for guys. Come and have a chat. We started with that one group in Halifax, and it's the same. Somebody that first night picked a ball up, passed it around the group, started asking questions. We still use a ball to this day.
Wow, yeah.
We still ask questions. We have grown a little bit in the 10 years since that.
I can see, yeah.
I probably should have done a little bit of research, but the last figures that I saw, we've got 344 groups around the UK now.
You've done research, good, yeah. Over 340 support groups across the UK.
There are more opening regular around the country, and we are aiming to get within half an hour of every man in the UK to have a group, face-to-face group where you can get along to.
Yeah.
It's come to light over the last few months, to be fair, that a lot of people don't know we actually do online groups as well.
Yep.
They operate pretty much the same as the face-to-face, and we'll get into that in a little bit, what we actually do at the groups. Only difference if you do join the online is you've got to sort out your own cup of tea, because we've not yet figured out to send one of those over the internet. But the groups themselves, they meet every Monday except for bank holidays.
Yep.
That is simply because some of the venues that we use don't open on a bank holiday. We don't have access. We do try and run all of those groups that we mentioned the same as far as possible. Big part of that is that guys know when they're actually open.
Yep.
So if a guy goes to one group and then he's working away in a different part of the country, or he moves out, he wants to know that his local group is still open the same night. Right. So we keep that consistent. They generally open about 6:30. Just to let everybody get in, get settled down, grab a brew. Session itself then will start at 7:00, and we aim to be done for 9.
Right.
They're entirely free. There's no admission charges. Yep. There is free tea, coffee, biscuits, and what have you at the groups. I'm not going to make any claims as how good the biscuits might be, but you get a biscuit,
Biscuits are biscuits, right?
Well, they all dunk, and they all
They
fall
do.
off and settle at the bottom of your brew, don't they? But, so Monday nights, except bank holidays, 7 or 9. They are a question and answer session. There's absolutely no pressure for anybody to talk. The groups themselves are all run by volunteers.
Yep.
And they've all started as a brand new guy through the door at some point that's been going through a struggle, whatever, felt he needed a bit of assistance, come and joined our groups. That same goes for people like myself who are now staff at Andy's Man Club. Certainly the male public fronting staff that we have. We've all started out as group users, become facilitators. Many of us have actually run groups over the years before actually being employed by the charity to get out doing.
See, I never knew that. I never knew a lot of the group leaders have had problems with themselves. But I suppose it makes sense.
That's a big part of why it works.
Yeah,
it's peer-to-peer support, and to walk into a room knowing that every guy there, like, we all go through stuff, right? Life can be difficult at times.
Yeah, of course.
And everybody's experience will be unique to the individual.
Yep.
But the guys in that group know how it feels to feel like that, ultimately.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. And that's a big important part of the structure as well, is that the guys running the groups are still very much members of that group. They're still part of that peer circle.
Yeah.
So let's say 7 o'clock gets in. When we start, we do have a little intro that goes through each week, a couple of rules and what have you.
Yep.
And then it's questions and answers. So we have like I said, a ball that gets passed around. One of the facilitators will start with that ball. He'll ask the first question of the night, which is, how's your week been?
Okay.
Conversation starter.
Is that a standard question?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Every week. He'll then answer that first to lead by example. So you could have a good week, bad week, indifferent, whatever. He'll give a brief overview of it. Pass the ball around his group. Everybody gets a turn. Question 2 then, give us a positive from your week. And the idea of that is, if you are going through a bit of a rough patch, being able to identify and see a positive can give you a little bit of a lift.
Of course, yeah.
Simple as it's a really, really simple idea.
Yeah.
Question 3 then, anything to get off your chest. That is the guy's opportunity to talk about their own stuff, whatever they've got going on. That can get a little bit deep some weeks, that question. There can be some quite heavy shares.
Like you say, everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah, totally.
Some people will totally open up. Some people will hold it in for a bit.
Yeah. And this is where the no pressure side of it comes in, because that's where the ball is there. If you're not ready to share everything or share anything, you just want to sit and listen at first, whatever, that ball comes to you, you just pass it on to the next guy.
Right,
Nobody's going to bat an eyelid. That happens often.
Okay.
You know, it's more than welcome to come along and get the feel for it first. So, like I say, question 3 can go a little bit deep sometimes. We get a break in then after that. And it's there as a reset. Grab another brew or whatever. You know, a lot of guys do make friends through the group, so they might have a chinwag with the mates that they've not seen since last Monday or whatever. So those first 3 questions are set every week, the same. They have been for years. But that creates routine, which has, you know, got a lot of proven benefits behind it.
Of course it has, yeah.
The last 2 questions then, conversely, they actually change every week. They're the same across all the groups, but they change every week, and they are structured to be a little bit more positive. So, question 4, sometimes it's a bit reflective, talking about past lessons and things, but still with a positive spin on it. A good example would be something along the lines of, where is your happy place and why?
Okay.
Right, so I'd answer that with, put me in the woods.
Yep.
Maybe there's a stream flowing through it. Bit of a waterfall. Sounds pleasant on its own. But the and why gives that answer context. So my hobby is photography.
Yep.
Right, when I'm in that environment, I'm thinking about the camera inbound.
Yep.
What lens have I got on it? What settings am I using? Where's the light coming from? That in itself gives me a task to do, and it can shut out some of the day-to-day noise that we all need a little bit of escape from at times. Of course. But there might also be other guys in that group that share the same hobby, similar interests. It creates connections.
Yep.
There might be other guys that are thinking of getting into that as a hobby that can then, again, create a conversation. They might ask advice or whatever and tag along.
Yeah.
You know, it creates bonds and it gives the initial answer context.
Yep.
Question 5, normally a quick fire to finish on. More often than not, a bit of a light-hearted element to it. A couple of examples for you. First one's a little bit specific, but I'm going to put you to the test.
You're going to ask me?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I have to say, I do have an expected answer for this one, so no pressure.
Okay.
When you're making a cup of tea, do you put your milk in before or after the hot water?
See, I get in trouble for this so much, Andy, so much. I put the milk in first.
Do you?
So I'm from down south. Originally from down south, and it might be a bad thing, I know, but every single person that has said to me, that's wrong, I make them a cup of tea and they're like, oh my God, that's incredible, that cup of tea. So I'm getting away with it. But yeah, I put it in first.
Well, quite conveniently, that does lead us to another point that we don't judge at Andy's Man Club.
Oh, there we go.
So nobody's a loser on that one. But you are wrong, it has to be said. In the nicest possible sense of the way.
No, I get that. Do you know when I moved up north, because I'm originally from down south, when I did move up north, everyone was putting their tea bag in, putting the hot water in, because obviously the tea bag has to be at the right temperature to brew and things like that. And I'm like, I put the milk in first. And they're like, nah, you're wrong. You're so wrong. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just different. But different's good, right?
Aren't we all?
Exactly. It don't matter, does it? Yeah,
like I say, we don't judge. So it's just it's a light-hearted, funny question. I'm kind of now on edge whether to ask the second one, but we'll give it a spin and see how we get on.
You've heard them. I'm from down south, didn't you?
Yeah. Kind of threw me a little bit. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No, it doesn't.
There you go, you see.
Is that good or is that a bad answer?
Well, it's indifferent.
I suppose it's different.
I'm not judging.
Okay. No, I don't think it. No, I think it's a cold thing, and it should.
Well, not when it's been in the oven. It's not.
Well, no, no, I don't. What about yourself?
On a Hawaiian pizza, if I'm in mood.
Yeah, you like it.
Generally, it's pepperoni, and then I add my own extra olives and jalapenos on it. But
I should have asked the other people in the studio what their thoughts were. But
pop quiz.
So it's not just me.
Hands up if pizza, pineapple belongs on pizza.
Exactly.
Well, you get the idea, don't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And ultimately, as daft as those questions were, we had a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Which is the entire point of that structure. Because if we finished on question 3 when everybody's talking about the troubles, well, that stuff can weigh heavy.
They take that away with them, don't they?
And what we're trying to stop is the guys carrying that baggage around with them through the week.
Yeah.
So if we can end on that high, right, and especially when you consider it's a new guy that's come to the group for his first time, right? Might be a bit of a dark spot. We refer to it as going through a storm at Andy's Man Club. So chances are he's at quite a low point before he gets to us. Now, if he can come to that group, maybe he's just sat and listened, but comes to that daft question at the end and he can leave laughing and joking about it with a bunch of blokes he's never met before. It's going to do 2 things for him. First and foremost, there's a good chance he's going to leave that session feeling just a bit better than he did when he walked into it.
Yep.
But it might also be his take-home. It might be the bit that thinks, you know what, I quite enjoyed that. I'm going to go again next week.
I like that.
Just a bunch of blokes having a chat.
Yeah.
Quite often having a bit of a laugh while they're at it.
Incredible.
In a nutshell, is Andy's Man Club.
Wow. Well, I'm going to play a couple of songs and we'll have another chat.
By all means, yeah.
Thank you.
From Radio 573 in 1979 to St. Luke's Sound.
You can't tell the difference.
40 years old and just getting started. This is St. Luke's Sound.
Might look same, but they don't taste the same.
It certainly is. And that was Lady Gaga, Hold My Hand. And I think, Andy, I'm sure you agree with this. We all need someone, whether it's the organisation, whether it's a friend, a family member, someone at work. Just hold your hand, just to be there for you sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Get you back. You know? And that is also a big part of what it does, because, you know, a lot of people end up isolated for whatever reasons. We in kind of a sideways way around what we're doing, we do provide that community aspect as well.
Yeah.
You know, especially like I mentioned with the social aspect of things.
Yeah, of course. So you want to tell us about your journey and how you got involved in Andy Man's Club and how you become obviously a lead in it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've actually been around a little while with this thing. My first ever time attending of Andy's Man Club was January of 2018. Yep. And unlike most of the guys that you might meet, I didn't actually go for myself. My first visit was purely to take somebody else. That somebody else was my son.
Right.
He was 21 years old at the time. He had made an attempt on his own life.
Right, wow.
Finding Andy's Man Club was part of me doing what I could as his dad to get him some help. We went along to the group over at the Shea Stadium in Halifax, where they still have one to this day. One of those things, most people will tell you it's quite a nervous thing to do. Mm. I didn't have that experience either because I was resolute. I'll come back to it in a minute, but it took me quite a lot of effort to get him there.
Right.
So once we got there, I was quite determined we were going in.
Right.
But we got met. It's policy to have a greeter outside to welcome guys in. We got met, we got shown in, we got offered a brew, sat in a circle. Some random dude picks the ball up, starts asking questions. To be fair, at that point, I think my anxiety were probably more through the roof than my son's.
Right.
I kind of knew he was going to hate the idea of it, and he He did, but the ball came to one of his turns and he did get involved. He did answer the questions. I quite often refer to Andy's man cover as a tool, much like many other things. It's a tool to do a job. And at that time, it happened to be the right tool for the right job, for the right person, and at the right time.
Yep.
And it worked. So I took him week in, week out for about 4 months. And it definitely helped. It definitely got him through that period of his time. And he got benefit out of it up to a point where he didn't want to go anymore. And I stuck around. And honestly, in the first place, I was hopeful of getting him back.
Yeah.
So
Must have been hard for a parent to do that.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very. He never actually came back. He has dipped in and out in the years since, but I stuck around. I started making some friends within the group, and many of them guys I'm still friends with to this day. 8 odd years later.
Yeah.
Not long after, I did get invited to join the facilitator team, which I didn't know why at the time, but quite a personal boost for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers, boys. I love some of that.
Yeah. It's a credit.
And it turns out, it was kind of a little diversion. And it took me a long time to learn it, to be fair, but I get a lot of benefit myself from helping other people.
Yep.
So that was a nice little bonus, nice little side effect for me. 2020, the guy that was running that group went on to become an employee of the charity. I was part of the team that took over as group leads and ran that group up until 2023, where an opportunity came up. I jumped all over it and became an employee.
Yeah.
Gone from running the one group to overseeing several around the area. That is kind of fluid depending who comes and goes as staff and what have you. At the moment, I've got Calder Valley, Air Valley, going all the way up to Settle, so all the Bradford groups and stuff.
Yep.
We've got a group in Bradford Central.
Yep.
Bradford South, Bradford Tongue.
Wow.
Baildon, Shipley, Keighley.
Wow,
So
it's
we're
really taken
quite
off,
well
isn't
catered
it?
for.
Yeah.
And even Clackheaton a little bit further out. But I sort of try to cut a longer story short. In the process of me attending, being a user, being a facilitator, beginning to learn, beginning to understand, talking to other guys and stuff, that process actually allowed me to recognise that as well as benefit from helping others, I did have some baggage myself.
Right, yeah.
So the year before we joined, 2017, right at the beginning of the year, it started off quite on a downer. My mum was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Right, okay.
That in itself had been a 2-year back and forth.
Yep,
various appointments, medical services and things. Quite a stressful experience. My son, he actually lost a college friend to suicide.
Right.
At some point at the beginning of that year.
Yeah.
It kind of blurs into one to a degree.
Yeah, of course.
He made his attempt at the end of February.
Right.
I've yet to find words to put that into perspective from a parent's point of view.
Yeah, I can feel it.
At the end of May, quite suddenly, I lost my dad.
Right.
Now, my mum was in no condition by that stage. At the time, I was the eldest of 3 brothers. It all kind of fell on my shoulders to
as it does,
sort things out, look after things. September comes around, company I'd worked for over 20 years, shut down.
Right.
I also found myself unemployed.
Yep.
Through all of that, all that other stuff, barely got a look in. My life revolved around my son.
Yeah,
looking
of course.
after him, making sure he was taken care of, making sure he couldn't do something that was undoable.
Yep.
Me and my wife used to take it in shifts at certain points to literally sit up around the clock to make sure that he couldn't do something that was undoable. And my kind of takeaway from all of that was guilt. I'm his dad. He's my son. I should be able to fix him.
Yeah.
That's where the club benefited me.
Yeah.
Because having these conversations, whether it's at guys at different clubs or whatever, or out and about when I am doing presentations and telling people all about us, it allowed, again, learning.
Yep.
Learning, knowledge, understanding. Took a while. Acceptance that wasn't my fault.
No, of course.
So, in a roundabout way, in full circle sort of thing, it's benefited me, even though I didn't go for me.
No, I can see
and
it.
it still continues to do so. Life, no matter what, life still throws challenges at us all.
Yeah.
It's different situations, different circumstances, but it can be hard at times.
Yep.
I've learnt myself that being able to talk this stuff through, what it does, And it's not going to fix anything for you. Andy's Man Club is not there to fix it. It's there to give you an opportunity to get that stuff
it's
out.
It's the talking, isn't it? Yeah. And people don't seem to talk much, especially men. They don't seem to talk. It's that bravado of, I don't need to talk.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm all right.
But we're not.
But we're not, yeah. It's strange, isn't it? It's quite hard. And how is your son now?
So to be fair, he's had his ups and downs.
Yep.
Don't we all?
Yep.
He has, much like our other guest we've got in tonight, Mick, he utilises his music. He's a singer-songwriter himself. He's been in various bands over the years and stuff. Sort of learned his trade. I mean, he plays all sorts. He plays guitar, he plays bass, he plays a little bit of keyboards, a little bit of drums. He's more programming with his drums, but he writes all his own material and stuff. And he utilises that to when he needs to get stuff out that he finds it hard to maybe talk about. Yeah. I've got songs that he's written that he's quite a clever wordsmith with it as well. So I've got songs that on the face of it, you think, it's all right, it's a catchy tune. But I know what he's saying. And as his dad, they're quite hard to listen to.
Yeah, of course,
But I kind of use them cathartically for me as well.
Yeah.
If he has he's learnt a lot about talking, and if he's having a rough patch, he'll give me a bell, and we'll chat things through.
That's incredible.
He's actually just gone through a 2-month period of unemployment himself.
Yep.
So we've had a few chats about that, and his struggles in looking for work. Which, again, many people can relate to that.
Yep.
Many of us have been there, but he's now back in a job and quite over the moon about it.
Fantastic.
It's a
good story, and you know what, Andy, you're a good man. I know all we all say that all parents would do the same thing, right? But not all parents wouldn't. Not all parents would, I don't think. And I think you're a very strong man to do that. I think that's respect for you.
I think we all, to our own levels, do what we can.
Yeah.
I've had my own journey years gone by, so I have some understanding of getting into that dark place.
Yeah.
Again, it's different, it's unique situations, but it's an understanding of how that feeling feels.
Yeah.
And that in itself helps me a lot to help my son. So experience counts for more than anything.
Certainly does.
Many
and like you say, just talking about even now, we're talking live in there. If someone sat there thinking, actually, I might go along. You've helped someone, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, I have this conversation quite a lot. I do visit a lot of companies and speak to a lot of guys, and they show interest, and I'll say, have you ever been to a group then? And they go, no, I haven't actually. And I go, well, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. And then a follow-up question. What do you think you've got to lose?
Yeah. There's no, is there?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them the worst case scenario of visiting one of our groups, right? You're going to get a free brew.
Yep.
You're going to get a free biscuit.
Yep.
Charge your life, you ain't getting back. What's the big deal there?
Yeah.
But think about what you might gain.
Sounds a great thing that Andyman's Club does. And like you say, every Monday, apart from bank holidays, but every Monday you're there for the group, for individuals.
Collectively for peer-to-peer support.
Yeah. No, I think it's an absolutely incredible thing. And also, what's incredible, Mick Brown, obviously Slinky Mick, he's in the studio ready to sing a song. He wrote, he'll obviously tell you in his own words, but he wrote this song that he's going to be singing. I'm going to play one more track and then we're going to get set up ready for Mick. But he wrote this song, one of his friends took his own life as well. He's gone through some struggles in his life, ups and downs, like you say, as we all do. And he's wrote a song dedicated really to his friend Scott and Andyman's Club as well. I think it's mentioned in the song as well, which is, I think, incredible. But yeah, I'm going to play another song. We'll hear from Mick, and then after Mick, we'll have a chat about how people can get in touch and get involved in the club, if that's okay.
Yep.
Andy, you're a star. Thank you.
From Radio 573 in 1979 to St. Luke's Sound.
You can't tell the difference.
40 years old and just getting started. This is St. Luke's Sound.
Might look same, but they don't taste the same.
It is St. Luke's Sound. My name's Karl Mott, and we have been doing a special show. Absolutely incredible show. I'm loving this show. It just opens your eyes so much. That was Coldplay and Fix You, because there is always a fix out there. And Andyman's Club is definitely one of them. But yeah, live in the studio for the 4th time. Mick Brown, how you doing? You okay?
I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Yeah, great to see you in the studio again.
Nice to be back.
Always a pleasure to have you in the studio. So you're going to sing a song, but I'm going to leave this bit to you because you wanted to say a few words before you go on, don't you?
Yeah, well, when I did this song, I played it to Scott, was the first person I played it to, and he replied back with a photograph.
Yep.
He'd been crying. He said, "Do you write that about me?" And I went, "No, about me." So, and he said, "That's how I feel." Yep. And I played it, and it started going on. But what I wanted to say was, on the last verse, because I written this one, because I wrote it, I think I probably can change it if I wanted to. And I went to the doctor, and I wish I hadn't have done. I wish I'd have gone to Andy Mann's club instead.
Yep.
Because they work out the problems, whereas the doctor just went, "You have some tablets."
Yeah.
And they just kept throwing more and more tablets.
Yep.
And that did more damage.
It's an incredible cause, an incredible organisation, isn't it?
It is amazing.
It really is. They've got to be proud of what they do.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. But
I might change one of the lines in the last bit and that. So
absolutely. Well, Mick, as always, all yours.
when you wake up to the day and it's beating you down, your mind is swimming with fear until you drown. And getting out of bed takes every bit of strength I've got. The weight of the world on my shoulders like a shot. Stay into open space, looking for answers that aren't there. I've got to be somewhere, but I don't care. The phone would ring, I'd freeze in fear. The messages I'd never hear. Leave the curtains closed, there's no one here. One day I'll get through this. I'll fight it all the way. One day I'll get my life back and find myself again. People ask me how I'm feeling. I tell them I feel fine. I hide behind a smile I'm wearing by design. Things so insignificant will fill me with rage. Take a breath, close my eyes until it fades. One day I'll get through this. I'll fight it all the way. One day I'll get my life back and find myself again. Close myself up to the world in fear every day. A failure, a burden, useless in every way. But loved ones stood by me and spoke of them. days. I went to Andy Mann's club. The tears as I explained that this world is all too much for me, and I couldn't take the pain. Was the best thing that I ever did, and I knew from that day, sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Someday I'll get through this. I'll fight it all the way. One day I'll get my life back, find myself again. I'll find myself again. I found myself again.
As always, Mick, a true legend, a true gentleman. And that was for Scott, wasn't it?
It was.
That was for Scott.
On air across St Luke's Hospital, Bradford, and online at stlukesound.co.uk. This is St Luke's Sound.
So thank you very much for tuning in to St Luke's Sound. A bit of a special show this evening. I'm sure you'll totally agree with myself and the team that have been doing the sound and the filming. It's just so special. So it touches, you know, whether you know someone that's suffering, that has suffered, that's still suffering. You know, I think we've all got that. But Mr. Mick Brown, thank you very much once again for coming in and performing that song.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look, you bring a good vibe to the studio anyway. You really do.
Thank you.
And that song, obviously, written for, you know, for obviously your friend Scott. That obviously he took his own life, and there was no signs of it. Absolutely no signs of it, was there?
There'd been little signs, but I was speaking to him a few hours before.
Yep.
And I'd made plans with him for the following week, and we're going to do this. And that girl you were talking about, ring her next week. Ring her this week.
Yep.
Go out next week. And I tried to make sort of plans with him, and
Incredible song though. Incredible song. I love the last bit about Andy Mann's Club. So once again, fourth time. Thanks very much for coming in.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate that. And over to Andy. Andy, thank you once again. Thank you very much for coming in. Incredible. What did you think to the song?
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And you can tell it comes from a place of understanding, and you know, hopefully other people hear that and be able to resonate a little bit, and just maybe think about their own situation. And
yeah, and it really does. And like Mick was saying off air, it's one of them songs that, you know, if you can't talk how you feel, it's a good song just to say, have a listen to this song.
Yeah,
it'll explain exactly how I'm feeling. That's what you said, Mick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've played it to a lot of people, and there's a lot of guys that said, do you feel like that as well?
Yeah.
And it's
it's focused on.
It's you know, it's hard to get guys talking sometimes, and that's what I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Because the more people that talk about it, the more normalised it will become.
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah.
It might take a while to get there.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Andy Mann's doing an incredible club, so
Amazing.
Incredible thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to add in on that note about the music and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know where I heard it. Something I've been saying for years myself, but there's a very strong argument that music is what feelings sound like. And,
nice, I like that.
You know, I use that myself. You know, music can be very cathartic.
Yeah, well, we use music. We and our logo is music and memories, because they go hand in hand.
Absolutely,
same sort of thing, isn't it? It brings back good and bad memories, of course, but music's incredible for that.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is.
But no, I really appreciate you coming in. massive respect. You're a very good man for what you do, and obviously, especially for your son, for the group, for the team that work around you and with you.
We all try. We all try. Do what we can.
It's incredible. But so for people out there that are thinking, that sounds like something that I want to get involved in, or something I want to go and be part of. How can they do that?
The main thing that we do is the groups. Like I say, every Monday except for bank holidays. If there is a guy out there that hears this, or maybe knows of a guy over 18, might be going through a little bit of something, might benefit from a bit of support.
Yep.
Have a look at our website. It's the simplest way. All the local groups do have their own Facebook page. So there's a Andy's Man Club Bradford Facebook page, which the local group share. Shipley's got one, Keithley's got one. But all the groups are listed on our website, which is www.andysmanclub.co.uk. Andy's Man Club, all one word. There's a searchable list on there. So wherever in the UK a guy might happen to be, he can put his location in and it will direct him either to his nearest face-to-face group, or we do run online groups as well.
And like you said, they haven't got to book or anything like that. No. They can just show up anytime they want.
No bookings, no appointments, no costs, no waiting lists.
Fantastic. Very welcoming.
And
they get a cup of tea and a biscuit.
All for free.
Ka-ching. That's a winner. But guys, both of you, thank you very much for coming in, making this show so special, because we've not done this before, and it's nice to be able to do this and get it out there. So I really appreciate you both coming in.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. Cheers.
From Radio 573 in 1979 to St Luke Sound.
You can't tell the difference.
40 years old and just getting started. This is St Luke Sound.
Might look same, but they don't taste the same.